The Zoning Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, earlier in the week concluded its sitting on the party's zoning arrangement ahead of the 2023 general elections. The chairman of the PDP Zoning Committee, Governor Samuel Otom, Benue State, who briefed journalists at the end of the committee's meeting in Abuja, says members of the committee have reached a unanimous agreement on the matter. However, it declines to speak on the conclusion reached by the committee, as it says the report of the committee will be forwarded to the National Executive Committee, NEC, of the PDP. But words have gotten out that the party may have, or the committee, may have decided to throw the zoning open or not specifically put it on any zone, or the rotation lot fall on any specific zone of the country. Well, there have been arguments. Different Nigerians have thrown their hat in the ring in the PDP on who exactly is fit to be PDP's presidential candidate. Let's speak with one person who is in the know and has been speaking loudly about this matter. He's a former federal lawmaker, Senator Dino Melaye joins me now. Thank you so much, distinguished Senator, for joining us now.
Yeah, good evening, viewers.
You've made your position known, and it does look like the whole world knows who you're supporting as far as the faces of those who are gunning for your party's ticket is concerned. But one thing that is a bit unknown about your position is the issue of zoning. You are from the North Central, but I know you're a Yoruba man in the North Central. Interestingly, give us your view on where you think your party should zone the presidential ticket.
Yeah, I will start by saying that after 60 years of independence, it will be myopic, it will be porous, it will be parochial, it will be archaic, it will be analogue thinking. So we'll still be talking about zoning after 60 years of independence. We must graduate from a mediocre society to a meritorious society where the best foot is being put forward. From my own perspective, as a legislator, I actually moved that a bill in the Senate that we abrogate state of origin. We should have a stateless Nigeria. We should be getting there, where we have a stateless Nigeria instead of having state of origin. What we should have is state of residence. Instead of having quota system and saying some states are disadvantageous, some are not advantageous, we should open the space to merit as practiced in other civilized climes across the globe. So I'm not one of those advocating for zoning, because most of the proponents of zoning themselves, mostly governors, have they practiced zoning and rotation in their respective states? It would be hypocritical if there is domination of power at state level, and you have not complained. There is domination of power at local government level. You have not complained, but you are coming to the federal space for selfish and egocentric interest, canvassing for rotation or for zoning. So I am saying the space should be open for the best, should be open for merit, should be open for open contest, so that you don't restrict those who have the capacity and capability of office just because you have moderated.
I mean, there are those who disagree with you, that they think that is hypocritical also of your party, and those who are saying it should be thrown open or it should not be zoned, because your party actually came up with this idea of zoning since 1999.
The world is a dynamic place.
And your party has it in the constitution.
At the time, I mean, our democracy is over 20 years, Sheung. As at the time we started, we were a baby democracy. Zoning at that time could make some rational, logical reasoning. But as we evolve, the world is dynamic, the world is not static. So as things evolve, things should change. Abnormal situations demand abnormal instruments. You can't continue to live in the Mango Park era. You can't continue to live in the Stone Age, the days of Homo sapiens and Homo erectus, and then continue to do the same thing. The world is evolving. The world is a global village. People are moving from analog thinking to digital reasoning. So we should also carry our practice, customs, and political heritage in the same direction.
So you're saying in essence that the idea of zoning is not digital, is archaic.
The idea of zoning is not democratic.
But does the fact...
Because you are limiting the space.
Also.
And then restricting some other people from participating.
But that has been the practice.
That is what I'm saying.
It's captured in your party's constitution.
That is what I'm saying, that the food you eat as a child is different from what you take as an adult. After 20 years of democracy, after 20 years of democratic regime or practice, and after 60 years of independence, you cannot continue to think of zoning. Is America zoning? Is America or is the United Kingdom zoning?
But Nigeria is not America. Nigeria is not United Kingdom. We have our peculiarities. Religion and ethnicity are major factors in our politics.
These peculiarities
Can we run away from those realities?
Peculiarities are existing in every facet in the political veins of other countries I'm mentioning. South Africa is there. They have their differences. So many other countries across the globe have their differences. But what we are saying is that we must work with time. Because you must work with what is practicable now.
Those who do not agree with you in your party are saying that those of you who hold this thought are just being, you're saying this because it doesn't favor you. And you're saying this now because you're thinking that zoning is not favorable.
It is not because
in 2019.
There's no. There's nothing to favor anyone.
Let me ask you a direct question.
Yes, please do.
Does it make sense or is it fair, according to those who do not agree with your school of thought in your party, to say in 2019, every Southerner left the stage for the Northern candidates to run. And this time around, after President Buhari's 8 years as a Northerner from Katsina in the northwest region of the country, that a Southerner should not be given the chance, or Southern candidates should not be given the stage?
I think you are getting it all wrong, Shehu. To speak unequivocally, I have never been party to zoning. And I did not support my candidate in the last election because of zoning or no zoning. What I'm saying in essence is that if a practice is not meeting the technological and scientific demands of recent times, the best thing to do is to do away with such a practice. Because when you limit human participation in anything at all, not even in politics, automatically you cannot get the best out of it. But if the field is open, the best will emerge. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria talks about no discrimination of any form.
Are you running away from the reality of the clamor that we see in the southeast and the the southwest of the country?
I'm not running away from any reality. I am saying that as an evolving society, we must also relate with time, what is happening anywhere in other climes of the globe. We want the country, Nigeria, we are in a precarious situation. This is the most, I would say that this is a time in our national history that we should not experiment. This is a time in our national history that we should get a Nigerian who will be a Nigerian, who will be acceptable to all, who will not be seen from a racial, parochial, custom, religious point of view to be our president. So let the entire country decide.
Yeah, maybe because you're supporting...
Maybe
because you're supporting Atiku Abubakar. That's why you're holding this position.
I am supporting Atiku Abubakar 100%.
Hold on.
But my argument...
Let me ask this question.
My argument is not because of my support for Atiku Abubakar.
You said...
My argument is that this is the saner thing to do, understand, vis-a-vis the time we're in.
Just a moment, Senator. You alluded to the fact that in PSG, that their best player is Messi, and they wouldn't leave him out in a critical situation.
Very well.
You made allusion to the fact that in Barcelona or in Man United, they wouldn't leave Ronaldo out because he's their best player. Yeah. So you're saying that Atiku Abubakar is the best in your party. Is that what you mean?
I am entitled to my point of view. From my point of view, today in Nigeria, we need a Nigerian that will be seen by all. Because this country has never been this divided in our history. Not even during the Civil War did we have the kind of division we have in this country now. So we need a unifier. And from all those who have shown interest in the presidency of this country, the most unifying factor and individual is Atiku Abubakar, who the west part of this country will be comfortable with, the Igbos will be comfortable with, the Ijos will be comfortable with, the Hausas will be comfortable with, the Yorubas will be everyone will romance an Atiku Abubakar because he's a detribalized Nigerian, because he's a nationalist, because he's a patriot, because he has his friends, his personal physician that I have known with him over 20 years. He's an old Igbo man, Ndukwe, who is still with him till today. He married Igbo. He married Yoruba. Those of us around him, we are not Hausa Fulani, we are not Fulanis. So we are saying that we need one man who will unify this country and bring back our long-lost reputation and bring confidence back into Nigerians. Today, the reason for agitation, the reason for the quest for separation is because there's injustice. And that injustice is because there is no unity of purpose, of heart and commitment as Nigerians. People have lost faith in the system. The APC government have completely divided us as a people. So we need that one person who will bring us together, who will be a father to the nation. The same thing happened in the United States of America. America became completely divided. America became like back to the days of the white and the black. Trump, America was a divided America. Americans and Democrats sat down and said, come, the blacks and the whites in America have now been divided. Governance, there's government without governance. So they needed one person that will unify America, that both blacks and whites will see as one who have come to bring back the long-lost reputation of America. They went for a Biden, a 78-year-old man, who then brought them back together. And Biden recorded a vote that have never been recorded in the history of America. The situation is the same here. Nigeria is divided. The economy is in comatose. Insecurity is pervasive. Hunger in the land is like never before. So we need one man who has the capacity and capability. More importantly, who is seen by all as our own. No Nigerian, except you are a demon, will accuse Atiku Abubakar of being a religious bigot.
So the question...
No Nigerian will accuse Atiku Abubakar of being a tribalist. Because he's not. And that is what we need now. And none of these individuals aiming for the office of the president have the political experience of Atiku. And this is a man who has succeeded in business. Economically, he has transformed 1 naira to 10 naira. If you bring him to power, he will do the same thing to power. And Seun, let me say this before you interject, that you cannot give what you don't have. You first need to acquire power before you can share power. It will be myopic, porous, parochial, intellectually stagnant, idiotic and stupid to begin to share power when you have not acquired power. We in the PDP, we're an opposition party. How do we now begin to share power that we don't have? You can only give what you have. You can't share power. You first need to acquire power. And you cannot acquire power without using a character, a person that have the potency, the capacity, the capability to acquire that power. And the only person that have that capacity today is Atiku Abubakar. And that is why I describe him, that it will be stupid for Man U coach in a football match where they are playing 0-0. They are playing 0-0 means it's a war situation. And in the middle of that war situation, for the coach to say he wants to bring out Ronaldo and then bring out a substitute. We cannot substitute a Ronaldo. And Atiku Abubakar is the Ronaldo of Nigerian politics.
Let me jump in and quickly ask you. You released a statement which you titled, "The presidency is not Pomo and Amala." And I mean, some people find that a bit offensive and they're thinking that, what exactly do you mean by that statement? The question about the contest of your party's presidential ticket is at stake here, and they're looking at quality. And you're saying that he's one person that fits the bill. The question is that, can't you find other people who can fit the bill across other regions of the country?
Yeah, what I'm telling you, like I said earlier, that we're in abnormal times in this country. So there must be abnormal approach. So we must go for the best. Having said that, why I titled my write-up that Nigeria's presidency is not the politics of Pomo and Amala is because I saw Ayo Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti, on TV disparaging Atiku Abubakar and Bukola Saraki. And I felt that was very ungubernatorial. That for a man who has been governor twice, for a man who is a politician and is supposed to be a respected person in this country, to start attacking respected individuals in our party, especially one that has been vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, one that has been governor for 8 years, that's Bukola Saraki, and he has been president of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is very, very pathetic that it will come up because he got a form or they bought a form for him.
You understand the premise on which he made those his position. He said that those who were in the PDP and some of those who left the PDP and fought the PDP on the outside, and when things were not all right for them in the other party, they came back to the PDP. And now they cannot determine what goes on in the PDP.
Shehu, I will tell you again that...
And you are one of those who left the PDP.
I want to tell you that we are students of history in this country, and we are not all myopic. Ayo Fayose is not even in a position to accuse anybody of leaving the party. For example, Ayo brought PPA to Ekiti and even rented an office for them. He was a member of PPA. Oji Uzokalu is alive. You can confirm from him. Not only was he a member of PPA, he ran also Senate and failed woefully on the platform of Labour Party. So a man who has jumped from one political party to another have no moral grounds to accuse any other person of leaving one party to another. It's like you are pointing one finger at somebody and four pointing at you.
But he's not the only one who has made that claim. He's not the only one who has made it. If you make it personal to him, it might be unfair.
He was the only one I listened to, and I heard him.
The question is
and others who made those claims may not be governors, may not be members of the neck of our party. Ayo Fayose is not attacking the opposition. He's only trying to ride on these very respected Nigerians, Atiku and Saraki, to make some unsubstantiated, to score some unsubstantiated goals. Our party is a disciplined party. You cannot run down the leaders of the party, the torchlights of the party. You understand? The leaders of the party, and then just because you sat down, you got a form, or they bought a form for you, and you now sat down somewhere with Amala and Pomo, and think the presidency of this country is a caricature, is Awada Kerikeri. It's not.
Doesn't he have, just the same way you're expressing your view, doesn't he have a right to his own view?
I have not disparaged any presidential aspirant because it is wrong to do so. As a party man, as a statesman, as a nationalist, it is very, very wrong.
But you have held a position tonight to say Atiku Abubakar is the best man.
That is...
and he held his own opinion.
Nobody have said Ayo Fayose cannot say this person is my candidate, or he himself is the best person. If he say Ayo Fayose is the best material for PDP, I will not react to that. But for a man of his status to start disparaging the leaders of our party, we are going to an election.
In what words exactly did he use that was offensive to you?
By the postulation he made. By the postulation he made.
That they left the PDP
by the postulation
and fought the PDP on the outside.
He made.
Was it wrong?
By the postulation he made.
Was it wrong by that?
Very, very wrong.
That they left the PDP and they came back.
That's why I'm saying that he himself, Ayo Fayose, is guilty of what he was accusing others for. And if you are a leader in this country, integrity, transparency, moral responsibility should be your watchword.
How critical?
And he has not displayed that at all.
How critical would your primaries be? You see, that's something that's going to be very tough, isn't it?
The PDP is one of the finest organized parties in this country. The PDP is a wonderful political party. When we get to that bridge, we will cross it. Many people thought our national convention was going to tear us apart, but we came out more stronger and united. And I'm telling you that our presidential primary will come and will go and will come out stronger. And by the grace of the Almighty God, PDP will take over power in 2023 with Atiku Abubakar as our flag bearer.
It's interesting, actually, that a lot of people thought you are closer to Bukola Saraki than you are to Atiku Abubakar.
Yes. I am. Even as I'm speaking with you, Bukola Saraki is my leader, is my friend, is my brother. And you cannot even disparage him in my presence. I will react. But I want to tell you that for everything, just like Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says, there's a time and season for everything. And as what you owe your friend is to tell him the truth.
Have you told him?
Not minding whose horse is God. And I don't want us to make Bukola Saraki a subject matter here. On this present contest, the best man that I feel will rescue this country from the satanic manifestation of the APC is Atiku Abubakar. And I'm telling you that at the end of the day, both Bukola Saraki, Atiku Abubakar, and every other presidential aspirant, we will all team together and work for Atiku and the success of the PDP in the final analysis.
Senator Dino Melaye, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
The pleasure is always mine.
Thank you so much.